It's been a few weeks since my last video, and there's one major difference between that one and this, and it's that I'm not wearing glasses and my eye is still a little bit red. I'm not wearing mascara either, and I'll get to all of that at the end of the video. But with this short hiatus of the healing process, it got me to thinking about the channel, plans for this year, what I'd like to show you. And so today what I'd like to do is, first of all, reintroduce myself, reintroduce the garden, and to tell you a little bit of what to expect from the content this year and what I hope to achieve and to help you with in regards to all of those ideas. I'm Tanya Anderson, and I have been making videos and sharing ideas since 2010. Everything from gardening DIY projects to soap making recipes. I am an author, I am regularly on social media, and I host in-person workshops as well. And this is all with that ethos of live simply, grow your own, make natural things. Now, first off, we are at the beginning of the gardening season, I would say, for most of us. Some of us have been planning and doing things since the beginning part of the year, but now that it's starting to warm up, more people are jumping in their gardens and cutting the grass, putting in vegetables, and getting really interested in gardening again. And I know this because I've had quite a few new subscribers. And if you are new, welcome to the channel. Now, just a few facts or factoids that are related to me and gardening. First of all, I was born in the United States. I'm still an American citizen, but I've lived most of my life abroad. And I live in the Isle of Man, and I've been here since 2010. I lived other places before then. And that's why I might speak a little bit differently to those of you straight out of the US. Now, here in the Isle of Man, I have quite a large garden. Although I did start off with a rented house and containers, we upgraded to a very small house before getting here. And so I've gone through that process of trying to grow things in smaller gardens and smaller spaces. We're going to get back to that topic in just a bit. Gardening for me is two things. First of all, it's a creative passion. I love growing plants. I love using plants to use in cooking, to use in handmade soap, all different types of things. And this is what keeps me going, because gardening is very hard work, especially if you have a large garden like mine. The other thing is that I see gardening as a revolutionary act. We are in a world that is hell-bent on making us into workers and consumers and spitting us out the other ends. And I honestly find that gardening is a way to get me through that and to give me a sort of independence in that I can grow my own food, I can make my own honey because I've got bees at the bottom of the garden, and these smaller attributes of self-reliant living, of preserving food, helps me to mentally get through the world that we live in. And it may also be these skills that helps me and helps others to reduce costs and to find more resilience in mine and your own lives. My garden is quite large. It is about half an acre. That's our plot size, and most of that is now garden. Wherever you look around the house, there's something gardening going on. The main vegetable patch is on a slope, and it is comprised of mainly no-dig garden beds. And I share exactly how to make those in a video from when I first started the garden 3 years ago. No-dig beds are essentially beds that you don't have to turn over every year. You don't dig them over. You just continuously apply a thin layer of compost or manure on top, and that's it. It saves time, it reduces weeding, and it's better for the soil and for the environment. So it's kind of a win-win. But going back to it, it is really easy and it saves your back so much. And as you can see from the extent of the garden here, if I and Josh can maintain a garden of this size on our own, That's the main reason, is because it's no dig. In the main vegetable garden, I grow everything from annual veg to perennials, which I absolutely adore because, again, they save time and effort. You plant them once and you can harvest for years. And that includes things like artichokes and cardoons, asparagus, perennial kale, perennial leeks, and different types of berry bushes and fruit trees. And together they form the framework or the edging of most of my beds and the surround around the main gardening area. Going further up the slope, we have the polycrop, which is a hard-shelled polytunnel. It's 4 meters wide and 7 meters long, and it looks bigger in videos than it actually is, but the amount of food that I'm able to grow in it is incredible. Now, going further around the house, we have a deck where I have different types of container plants and the greenhouse. Now, one thing that has occurred to me as I've been talking about the gardens and as I've been thinking over the past few weeks is that very few people have the space and the time that I do to be able to dedicate to gardening. But the passion is still there, and that aim of becoming more self-reliant is still there as well. With more land, you have more flexibility, but with a smaller space, you have a lot more creativity. And so this year, what I would like to do is focus on smaller gardening ideas. So focusing on that patio area and the greenhouse and seeing just how much produce I can grow using just those spaces, because I think that that's truly representative of the kind of space that a lot of people have to play with at the most. And then again, you have a lot of people who are working with much smaller spaces down to balconies or even windowsills. I will try to come up with some ideas there, but I'm going to be mainly focusing on kind of small garden ideas. And you can expect to see the first of those videos very soon. If you have been enjoying the content up until now, don't worry though, because I will still carry on with the rest of the garden, and I will carry on with doing the monthly garden videos. And I know a lot of people do enjoy those. I think though, considering my eyes and the procedure I just had done and the time I've had to take off, I'm not going to be doing a garden in April this time, but I will be doing a garden in May. So you can look out for that video next month, which is beginning next week. I can't believe it's already May. So that's the plan with the channel. I'm going to carry on with the monthly garden videos. I'm going to be sharing a lot more small space gardening ideas and focusing on cramming in as many plants as possible and showing everything from potting soil to growing vertically and all of that. So taking all of these ideas that I use in the larger garden and then making a more bijou style from that. I'm actually quite excited by the challenge, because using a smaller space to maximize harvest is an art in itself. And if you have a small garden and you are looking forward to some of those ideas, leave me a comment down below and let me know if there's anything in particular that you would like to hear from me. Now to my eyes. A couple of years ago, I made a little video for my Patreon subscribers about what happened with my eyesight. Basically, I had quite a serious incident. My eyes started getting really dry, really irritated, especially when I was wearing contact lenses. And then one day, it was just serious sensitivity to light, pain. I went to the doctor, my GP, and they had me go immediately to a hospital, and I was able to see an eye specialist that very day. And he said that I had a condition called limbal stem cell deficiency, which is very serious. And if you Google it, you will see some very disturbing photos, which I have seen as well. And that is the main reason that I've worn glasses for the last couple of years. And glasses are fine, but there have been times that I really didn't want to wear glasses. And so when I went for an eye check end of last year, my eye doctor just casually mentioned that there was an idea, or there was a procedure called implantable contact lenses. And I immediately booked myself in for a consultation with an eye specialist in London. So I traveled over there, went to that consultation. I spent 4 or 5 hours, literally half the day there, with them doing various tests on my eyes. And it came out at the end that I did not have limbal stem cell deficiency, so it was a misdiagnosis, and that I could either get implantable contact lenses, which he recommended it to me, Dr. Daya, or I could get laser eye surgery. And I opted to get laser eye surgery. And so that's why I've had a little bit of time off. It's been 2.5 weeks now that I'm releasing this video, and my eyes are doing great. I had some hemorrhages in my eyes after the procedure, but it was completely painless and they'll heal up pretty soon. And I'm just overjoyed to be able to look around and see without glasses. I rarely make these types of videos anymore, these kind of vlog style videos, but I thought this would be a good opportunity to have a little sit down conversation, kind of recap what I do, what I'd like to show you, my ethos, and what I would like to do this coming year. So if you have any comments or questions for me, do leave them down as a comment. And I'm looking forward to making a lot more videos this year and helping you to become as self-reliant in the garden as possible as well. And going by that ethos of live simply, grow your own, make natural things, I think is a very simple statement of intention, but it's also quite powerful to be able to, even in the smallest way, provide for yourself. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week, because I'm going to be releasing another video next week for a video here on Lovely Greens. I'll see you then.